Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Future Members Orientation. Um, just doing this video version of this presentation so that people can watch it whenever they want. Um, and so some of the goals of this orientation are to help you understand the benefits of joining Local 728, um, and as well as how to do it exactly. Um, Along with that, we're going to give you some personal stories from 728 members so that you can understand exactly what it's like to be in the union and how things might change once you are. And also, we'd like to try and get you to join our Facebook group. The Friends of Local 728 Facebook group can be very helpful for you, while you're along this road of trying to get into Local 728. So just to give you an idea of some labor history here, um, in the early 1900s, there's really no labor protections. So we didn't have things like standardized work week, no 40-hour work week. There's no minimum wage, no overtime. Um, there was no child labor laws, and there was also no protections to organize. So um, yeah, it was not easy. There were a number of really brutal strikes that really disrupted trade with a lot of casualties. One example of this was the Pullman strike, which was by workers building rail cars. The workers had their pay cut by 30%, and the company owned the town and all of the housing that they lived in, but they did not lower living costs. Ultimately, it was 260,000 workers in 27 states that joined this strike, and railways ended up stopping as a result, and it ended up hurting a lot of businesses around the country, as well as goods just couldn't move throughout the U.S. Ultimately, the government sent federal troops to stop the strike, but as you can imagine, that led to a lot of violence that broke out in a number of different cities. Um, a rail yard was burned down, 26 civilians were killed, and um, yeah, just the thing is that like these things like happen more than once, and as you can imagine, if you want a strong economy and you want for people to be happy, you can't really have this amount of like labor unrest, and so um, yeah, so some people will try and argue that workers going on strike and trying to form a union is a bad way to go about things. That the free market solution is just to quit your job, and that the market will take care of it. But it's very clear, in history that if workers don't have recourse for their labor issues, that you will get violence because people will feel trapped. And so unions are just like a very nice, polite way for working people to say no, we're not going to do those kind of things. So in 1935 to 1938, there was the National Labor Relations Act, and the Fair Labor Standards Act. And so during this time, you had a really explosive growth in union membership. You can see this graph here. Union membership is this blue line, and so right around here, 1938, went from 10% to 25%, and then 1948, we went all the way up to 35%. And you can see that as we increase union membership, the share of income going to the top 10% does start to drop. Um, so, um, yeah, and then we started getting some good things, minimum wage, overtime, child labor laws, things like that. And so now um, there's some promising signs for the future. Most recent years showed 75% of new union members were 35 years old or younger. Um, Entertainment and digital media shows union relevance for sure, because everybody sees Amazon as a non-union company, but even they have signed a SAG and IA agreement, that they are using union labor for their TV shows and movies. And yeah, ultimately, if the Onion can organize their workplace and they can have a union, there's no reason why you can't either. Um, so I'm going to stop this video right here, but if you come back, we'll talk more about the benefits of joining 728. Thank you.